Today I messed up. I flashed my tits to my favorite teacher on a video call. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. Hit the bell if you're a mad lad. Please, I beg you, before you start commenting about why I was topless in my house, please read the edit I added, please. Dear Edit, today I fucked up big time. Today I fucked up so bad that I had to make a new email so I could create a new Reddit account because I never want this to ever come back to me. For context, my dad was hired to work an IT job at the school I attend around 2 years ago. For reference, I am a third-year college student, and while he was doing this job he became friends with some of the other IT people, and through this he has been invited to go to a club where they listen to music and appreciate it. Some of my teachers are in this club, especially one, my favorite teacher. Horrifying, I know. Due to the current coronavirus pandemic, they have moved their meetings online through video calls. Here is where the fuck up begins. To join these calls, my dad uses the family computer in the living room. For reference, my room is adjacent to the living room, and if my door is open I can directly see the computer from my doorway. Last night I was hanging out in my room wearing headphones and watching some Netflix while playing Animal Crossing. What else is there to do in the literal apocalypse? As I am playing, I spill some salsa on my white shirt, meaning if I want to salvage the shirt I have to soak it immediately, so I get off my bed and take off my shirt, and as this is quarantine I am not wearing a bra. Why I took off my shirt before I left my room I don't know. Here is where the fuck up begins. The stars must have lined up for this to happen because 1. I did not know my dad was attending this video conference. 2. My dad had left the living room to go to the bathroom. 3. And I am in clear view of the video camera on the family computer in the living room, and didn't think about it at all. So, I leave my room, titties out and all, and walk to the laundry room to get the stain out of my shirt. Done easy, no problem. As I walk back to my room I get a craving for some soda and decide to go get one. The kitchen is adjacent to the living room, right next to the family computer. I walk by the computer and into the kitchen, open the fridge, and behind me I hear OP, and I immediately recognize my teacher's voice. I stop dead in my tracks. You know that feeling when your stomach drops and your entire body just freezes? That. In my panic, I was so shocked, and I was just putting 2 and 2 together and just go no and drop to the floor and sit on the floor, my back against the kitchen island with my knees to my chest, and I have no idea what to. There is no way I can get back into my room without going past the camera. Luckily my dad came to the rescue and came back to the room shortly after, and this was the conversation that followed. FT. Favorite teacher. Dad. My dad. Me. FT. Hey, I believe your daughter might be in hiding. You might want to hang up so she can safely return to her room. Dad. OP, you there? He can't see me because of how I am sitting. Me. Yes. Dad. Do I want to know? Me. No. Dad. Should I disconnect from the call? Me. Yes. Can you also close your eyes until I tell you to open them? Dad. Very confused at this point. Okay. My dad proceeds to turn off his camera and tells me I can leave. I then fled the scene, locked my door, and immediately put on a shirt. I called out for my dad that it was safe, and a few minutes later I could hear him laugh with everyone in the call. We have yet to discuss this. If you made it this far I applaud you. However, for personal reasons, I will now be passing away. Thank you. TLDR. I accidentally made porn for my teacher. Edit. For those asking why I was not wearing a bra when at home with my family. 1. I've been at college for so long and just got home after my school shut. It's a habit. 2. My favorite shirt had a stain. I wasn't thinking, I just wanted to get the stain out as quick as possible to save my shirt. 3. We all just usually keep to our rooms. None of us really use a living room unless we are all together, especially not around 11 PM on a Friday evening. I'm an only child and my parents usually go to bed around 8. Edit 2. Thank you for awards, kind internet strangers. Also to everyone asking if my teacher is hot. He is fairly good looking, however married and gay. I am also a lesbian, so I doubt anything will ever happen. Today I messed up by not killing a wasp when I had the chance. This story begins 3 days ago and concluded yesterday morning. This is the most exciting shit that has happened to me in weeks. People, I have, despite loving the outdoors, never been stung by a wasp, bee, etc. I have no problems with insects. Hell, I'll pick up a spider. But the pointy ass is I'm not a fan of. Bees are cool though. So I wake up and head to the bathroom to take my morning shit. I open the door and hear buzzing and notice Satan himself has decided to pay me a visit and is flying about my shower curtains. I immediately noped out of there and begin brainstorming how to kill this bastard. I had determined that the point of entry was my window as it was slightly ajar. I seal the weak point and prepare to suit up. I then spend the next 20 minutes putting on multiple layers of clothing. 2 pairs of socks going on top of my pants. 2 sweatshirts, sweatpants, a shirt around my head and face turban style, a beanie, winter gloves, you get the point. I was impenetrable save the slit where my eyes were. I grabbed the executioner, which is a glorified electric tennis racket, and was ready for war. I slowly opened the door to do some recon and see that little jerk was chilling on the ceiling vent. Close the door, grab the executioner, take a deep breath and reopen the door. The enemy has since taken up a more tactical position behind the lights above my sink. Clever. It turns to face me and opens its wings up, ready to kamikaze my ass at a moment's notice. It can smell fear, and probably the gallons of sweat I'm excreting from being in enough clothing to brave MT Everest. I'm fucking hot and shaking, thinking on the fly. Puns. I grab a shirt and throw it at the winged heathen to try and flush it out of its position. Success. Or so I thought. It tumbled down for a moment before regaining control and I shit you not made a beeline. More puns. Straight for me, and in a panic I slammed the door shut. My mom is telling me I need to close the vent in my bathroom, otherwise it could get in and then the whole household would be compromised. Understanding the stakes, I muster the courage to open the door one more time, only to discover that in my haste I have lost all visual of the enemy. Gone. After closing the vent I spent the next 10 minutes, still sweating balls, clearing the bathroom looking for that little shit. Couldn't find it. I was convinced that it made its way into the ventilation. All hands on deck. Code red. I close every vent on the 2nd floor in every room and the vents in the hallway. I meticulously check my bathroom once again. Under the sink, between the shower curtains, trash can, nothing. There's nothing more I can do. I spend the next 2 days afraid of my own fucking bathroom, carrying the executioner with me like Jesse Pinkman and his pistol in El Camino. It must be in the vents, and so there it shall die. I awake yesterday morning to take my morning shit. The first time that I didn't take the executioner with me, and when I exit to go lie down in bed again I'm greeted with a familiar sound emanating from the window blinds next to my bed. Then I see it. That skinny wasted, stabby asshead, flying fucker flew under the radar and remained in hiding for 2 days until I was unarmed and then makes a move. It was in my room, skulking, lurking, waiting. I see it fly behind my bed. The executioner is on my nightstand. I'm without armor and in nothing but briefs, on some Wild West cowboy shit ready to draw. I make a move for the executioner and backpedal to a central position where I can wait for its next move. Mano y mano, bitch. I wait 5 minutes before deciding that I've had enough. I flank around the perimeter of my room and with one hand open up my window nice and wide, hoping and praying that I didn't just invite the whole wasp cavalry to make a grand entrance into my bedroom if it decides to release attack pheromones. It must have been behind my nightstand and felt threatened by my arm because it flew out and landed right on my forearm, and before I could swipe it off and electrify that flying syringe it delivered me a painful parting gift. I freak out and trip backwards before it flew off out of my window. Window shut. I lick my wounds. The vents are opened. The war is over. But casualties have been sustained. Honestly, that little arsehole deserves to live, so long as it never returns. TL. Dr. A wasp spawns in my bathroom. I failed at killing it. It disappears and remains hidden for 2 days before re-emerging. It takes my sting virginity and escapes, and I definitely didn't pussy out edit. Fuck you wasp, I got platinum. A couple pics of the possible yellow jacket nest we now gotta deal with, plus my armor and the heathen himself. https://imgur.com/gallery/exxfohk edit 2. The culprit was a single paper wasp. The nest in the first picture is a possible yellow jacket nest, entirely separate, like some fucked up level 2 on the horizon after surviving level 1. Today I messed up by ripping my arsehole while playing with my son, so in these times of corona quarantine, when you can't leave your apartment, things get a bit challenging when you have a kid. We have a 1 and a bit-year-old son who can't sit still for more than about 2 seconds. He's literally running around all day and spends most of his waking hours exploring how gravity works, like some mad scientist. His antics require constant attention. I'm sure all parents with toddlers can relate. So what can we do to A, pass time in a fun way for everyone, and B, exhaust the little fella to make the rest of the day a little more tranquil? One of his favorite things to do is swim, so I decide to order him a splash pool. But because I'm a great dad, I don't order any kind of cheap pool. I get a state-of-the-art 2x1 meter so he can move around, high-walled so he can splash the water without flooding the apartment, and a special anti-slip rubber bottom so he won't slip, crack his head and drown. I had determined that the kid drowning would really be an unsatisfactory outcome, so I was very pleased with my safety first purchase. Next day the pool arrives. We immediately pump it up and place it in the living room. We don't have a garden. 5-6 buckets of water and presto, a baby, Olympic-sized pool is ready to go. The boy is absolutely elated as we put him inside. He's laughing and splashing and throwing his ducky around. Not a euphemism. The pool is an instant success. However, since as I mentioned we would prefer he doesn't drown, I get in the pool too to make sure all goes well. There was plenty of space for us both, so I get naked and hop in. I considered wearing trunks, but it's in my living room and we're all family, so no big deal. So far all good. Fuck up incoming. Okay, so did I mention that I am a big guy? Because I'm a big guy, athletic, I hear you say? Yes, thank you for noticing. It's just that the past few years have been a bit heavy on the beer, and light on the exercise. So my once athletic frame is now obscured by a layer of speck, maybe a few layers. How seals look after feasting all summer long in preparation for winter. Big boned, yes, we'll settle for that. Agreed. Side note, a girl once described my body as one befit of a Greek god. Unfortunately the girl was imaginary, dreamt up by a 14-year-old me. So anyway, my son and I are in the pool and we are having a lot of fun. I am throwing his floaty toys. He picks them up. He throws them. Repeat, etc. It's all very wholesome. Until my son is reaching for a toy which is floated to the other end of the pool from where we're sitting. It's a big pool. I spared no expense. Remember? The toy is far away, so as he tries to grab it, he starts to fall. Since I prefer that he doesn't drown, I instinctively jolt forwards to catch him before he faceplants into the side of the pool. Now this is where the fuck up happened. Unbeknownst to my brain, after sitting still in the water for so long, my naked and rather voluptuous ass had suction cupped itself to the bottom of the pool. I am a male mammal, so I'm not sure if this is some kind of ancient mammalian survival instinct, or maybe I am descended from some kind of sea slug. I have been called that too. Unfortunately it wasn't imaginary that time, but the reality was that my ass was glued in place to the rubberized anti-slip bottom. So when I jolted forward, with all the momentum of my once Greek god body could muster, it became a battle between the immovable object and the unstoppable force. But something's got to give, and in this case, my ass gave. I did move forward. I did catch my son before he fell into the water, but I was now literally up shit creek. Because the weakest link was up the crack, one sheik let go, the other one refused to give in, resulting in my body performing some obscene half pirouette before abruptly halting. The momentum traveled up the crack, stopping only when reaching the deepest, darkest depths. I almost split in half. Groans were made. Tears were shed. There was no blood, but that doesn't mean nobody was wounded. The pool session ended shortly thereafter. Much to my son's dismay, I will get in the pool with him again, but I swore in this moment that henceforth I will always wear trunks. Unhelpful TL. DR. Got naked with son and ripped my anus to shreds. Proper TL. DR. Got naked and jumped in a splash pool with my toddler. My big boned ass got stuck and I tore my anus as I reached out to grab my son from falling in the water. Edit. My ass is fine. No lasting damage. Thanks for your concerns. Looks like you reached the end of the video. Like and subscribe to receive absolutely nothing for absolutely free.